Hello everyone. So today we are going to work on how to have different animations and how to transition from idle animation to running animations when these Niagara zombies start chasing me. So they stay idle like this, and only when I go closer to them they start chasing me like this, and now they are changing into uh, the running animation as well. So yeah, if I increase my lead to them more than 1000 units, they stop chasing me like that. It's fast. Okay, and again, if I go closer to them, they again start chasing me. So the important thing that we are going to learn today is how to switch from one animation to two animations in this static mesh, one animation to another animation in this static mesh based animations that we have used for the Niagara system. So before we get started, let me remind you that you can download the project files of this project and all other thousands of projects I have done from my Patreon page. Once you become a member, you can download anything without any limits. And also feel free to watch other episodes of this series as well, where I initially worked on how to create the static mesh animations using anim to texture plugin, and then how I started with the zombie horde Niagara system. So I'll leave the link to the full playlist also in the description below. This is the 4th episode of this series. Alright, now let's get back to today's tutorial. Okay, so now this is where we stop today. So here we have zombies that are chasing the player. If I play the game, you see, they are coming towards me. But now what I want to do is, since we are using a Niagara particle for these animated zombies, it's a bit complicated to have like different animations. For example, I initially want them to stay in idle animation without chasing, and only when they start moving, I need them to have this running animation. So that's what I want to implement. Okay, so the first thing for that is, here I have this zombie run animation and zombie idle animations. Here, this is the running animation and this is the idle animation. But when I generate this static mesh with animations, make sure under this animation sequences you include both animations. So right now I have already done that, but you can add multiple animations here, not just two. So I have added zombie run first and zombie idle second. Maybe it should be other way around. So zombie idle first and zombie run second. Okay, save. Now go back to your PP anim to texture. So here we are already using this this asset where we have defined these animations. Therefore, if I run this again, run editor utility, it will regenerate these bone position, bone rotation and bone weight textures to include both animations. And now you see they are moving like this because I am playing the 0 animation index 0 animation by default. So that's why they are moving without any animation. So how do we tell each instance of these particles to use the running animation when they are running and idle animation when they are not moving? So to do that, first let's see, let's go to this zombie and go to this animation And here you see go to this material, and here you see ML custom bone animations material layer. And if I open that, this is what you see. So here you have start frame and end frame, which I can see in here as well. End frame, start frame. So by default, start frame is 0, end frame is 127. This is equivalent to here first animation is idle animation. So if I open this animation, you see the frames. First frame is 0, of course, and then 127 is the last frame. So it has 127 frames. So that's why by default, since I have asked to use the zeroth animation index to play, here we get those values here, 0 to 127. So if I want to play the moving animation or running animation, now you see this has 24 frames starting from 0, 24 frames. So, and this comes second. So here if you change this starting animation to 120, this is end. So sorry, let me revert that. The start frame should be 128 because after the first animation we get the second animation data in the texture, and the end frame should be 128 plus the number of frames here, that means 24. So 127 plus 24 means 151. Here if I make this 151, now you see this upper body has the moving animation because I only changed these values for the zombie body. I didn't change because there are two materials here. I didn't change the values for this one, but let me do that too so it's more clear. 128. Okay, see, now you understand how this start frame and end frame comes into play. Now what I want to do is, initially zombies should stay without moving in whatever the locations that they are spawning. Only when they start moving, when they are standing, when they are not moving, they need to have the idle animation. When they are moving, they need to have the running animation. So to test this, here I'll first remove this line interaction first, so they should stay, or they still have some movements because I have given these values. Okay, so let me reset this, or let me just turn off this altogether, and now they are like this. Okay, maybe let's do this. I'll make this 0 and 1 1. Okay, now they have a very small movement, a very small speed, so I can keep them straight. But anyway, now I want them to have the idle animation. Also, let's do this. Here, instead of having a spawn rate, I'll make them have this spawn burst instantaneous, and let's spawn only 50 zombies. And then the loop duration, I'll make something like 500, so they wouldn't be spawning and respawning again and again. I'll increase their lifetime of zombies also like this, so they stay for a long time. Okay, now they need to have the idle animation. So if I go to this ML custom bone animation material layer, here we can access particle speed. Okay, now let's put this into a if node. So if the particle speed is, let's say, larger than 0, larger than 100, maybe not that, yeah, let's just say 100, because this is right now it should be like a binary state. They are either running or idle. So if this is larger than 100, that means they are running. So that means my starting frame should be this 128. So this should be 128 for both cases. If this is less, let's have a constant here. Actually, we can have dynamic parameters as well, but this should be enough for this purpose. If this is less, that means our starting animation should be, oh, hold on, that's correct, 0, because idle animation starts at 0. And I'll connect this instead of this start frame, and end frame, correct. So for the end frame, I'll have the same thing. So if it is moving, if the speed is larger than 100, that means my end frame should be 151. That's what we calculated, yeah. And the starting point should be 28. No, 128. Use this and apply. Now let's see, that's the zombies. Recompile. Okay, now they are here, but why are they flickering? Maybe some value is off. This should be 127. Oops. No. Oh, they are moving. Might be the reason. So here, I make this very small. Yeah, now they are idle. Okay, now if I enable this line attraction, now they are moving, and also they have the animation as well. Now we need to solve the problem with gravity. So again, the problem with enabling the gravity is, as the regular gravity, is because when I don't have this line attraction force, they are like dead zombies, which is kind of cool actually if I think about it, but we have problems with that. So I only want to enable gravity when the characters are on the move. That's one thing. And the other thing is, I want them to start moving towards me when they are actually closer to me, not always. So for that, yeah, it was other stuff. Now I don't need them anymore. Here, instead of line attraction force, I can use point attraction force. And here, attract strength, let's say 500, and radius, I'll say 1000. So only the zombies that are closer to less than 1000 units will come towards me. And the attractor position, so here I need to give player's position. So this is a vector parameter. Here I can't connect it. Make new user parameter, read from new user parameter. Now this is a position parameter. Let me rename this. No, let's just copy this. Attractor position. And then go to my level blueprint. Here I was using this target location, but target location. Now the next, in order to use that, it has to be a Niagara variable in the type of position. Set Niagara position. Set Niagara variable position. This. Paste the name. We are not going to need this anymore, but I'll leave it anyway. And here, so this is going to attract towards the character's middle, because the actor location gives the middle point of the character. So I'll make them attract towards the feet. So like this. Okay. Now let's see. Closer. Yeah. See? Now they are coming towards me only when I go closer. But they are sleeping on the ground. That I need to fix. So to fix that, yeah, gravity force. Let me fix the map vector. And these values, I'll have some very small values, a random value, so that they will be facing different directions randomly. P for both x and y. So that's spawned above the ground. That's good enough. So now they are like this, and they come. So the problem appears here. They are moving on ground. So when they are moving, I need to increase the gravity. For that, we need to derive this Z component with another multiplier minus 9 energy. So if this should be 0 if our speed is, let's say, less than 10. If our speed is higher, this should be 1. So to do that, let's plan this first in between 0 and 1, and this value I'll have a subtract plot. So 10 is the value I set, if the speed is larger than 10, or we can actually have 100 as well, because they will have some speed between 200 and 400. Now this should be based on, this should be basically the, oh wait, no, subtract. This should be 100 because that's the minimum. And this should be coming from, this should be our speed. But we can have a speed, vector length, velocity. No, should be particle velocity. Okay, particle velocity, yeah. Compile. Now, let's see. Yeah, in idle animation, if I move closer, yeah, now they are coming, following me. If I fall, now they also not quite right. Oh, I just realized actually when I reset this, so whoever the zombies have the force, they are moving and the others are falling. So maybe I'm not able to figure this out right now, so I'll leave that part for now. Okay, now here is the final demonstration. So there are the zombies and they're staying there like this. If I go closer to them, they start chasing me. Okay, so yeah, just like every zombies will start chasing me as soon as I go closer to them. And if I move from them further away, more than 1000 units, they should stop chasing me. So they are going over there. That's because they don't have any drag force or anything to stop them. So they just maintain their velocity. Maybe I should have that. That should eventually stop them. But yeah, I'll leave that for you to figure out. Well, that just did it. So here, see, now they are chasing me. If I move further away, they stop. Okay, so thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available here for download in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in another episode. Goodbye.